I hate that. Is it on?
It's on.
Okay. All right, we want to welcome each of you to Maymester. Maymester is pretty fast and furious, as you well know. It begins now and will end in 3 weeks, and we come every day, all right? Because we have, yes, Monday through Friday, because we have to do that. The only reprieve you'll get will be the last, on the third week, the Friday is, the campus will be closed. So you get that week off, but for the next 2 weeks is Monday through Friday. So there will be things for you to do, and we'll take care of you every day. Going to get that speed up. We don't want to let you lose the speed that you have accomplished. So many of you have done so very well, and I've been so very proud of the results of the tests and so forth and so on, and I can't get out of that.
Yeah, you're on.
Okay. There's one spot. Okay, now, there is a schedule that be posted on the wiki, and I'm going to let Ms. Mallon tell you about all of that. We met a couple of times last week to try to come up with a schedule that would best benefit you. One of the advantages that you will have in Maymester that you won't have normally is that we are going to test in something every day. Okay? You will get a test in something every day. Now, that's not the theory people. We have other things for you. But all of you that are in speed will have an opportunity to test every day. And we have it divided out so that on one day you test lit, one day you test jury charge, one day you test Q&A. That way, and that's in addition to your Wednesday tests. Okay? So you really are going to get 2 tests a week. Or 2 opportunities to do those performance challenges, and hopefully, you know, you're on a roll now. Hopefully that'll continue over to Maymester, and so we can get some more tests passed, and that's our goal, to help you. Okay.
And so if you're online for that,
You can still take them online.
okay.
You can still take them online. What we've built into the schedule, and I'll let Ms. Mallon explain that in a moment, but what we have built into the schedule is a test transcription time every day. Okay? So you're going to be able to take that test, and then you're going to have that hour following to transcribe it. And it must be turned in, whether you pass it or not. All of those must be turned in. Because part of the learning curve that we have, and part of the danger comes in the fact that you feel like you didn't pass a test, and so you don't transcribe it. And 2 things happen that way. One thing is that you can be totally deceived, because feelings are deceptive. I had a student many years ago that refused to transcribe any of her mocks because she didn't feel like she passed them. And I sat on top of her at one point and I said, you know what, you need to start at least looking at those to see what you're doing. And when she did, she passed them and she was out. She went to the state test, passed it the first time. So it was just the fact that she felt like it, but it wasn't really what was going on. She really was passing those tests. So don't ever lose that opportunity to check those tests. First and second thing it will do is to help you to see what kind of errors you're making. Because sometimes we get into a routine and a pattern and we make the same type of errors all the time. When we find out those and identify them, then we can get those corrected. Did you have a question?
Yeah, so if we're going to come in on Wednesdays for the face-to-face for that main test, are we able to bring in the copies of the other Monday and Tuesday?
You may, because we need to, Ms. Mallon and I will be responsible for grading, and the quicker you can get them back to us, particularly the past tests, the better we will be, because this is going to be pretty intense for the next 3 weeks. We really put a lot into it, and it takes a lot of energy because it's just the 2 of us. Okay, so the faster you can get those to us, the better it is if you think you've passed it. And even if you haven't, we need it for our records.
And here it asks if we have a scanner, would we be able to just scan it in?
Yeah, if you're at home, just scan it back. And she'll explain all that to you in just a moment, okay? All right, the next thing then, of course, is about those books. And so far I have 14 people that need the drill books. Margie Wakeman Wells has published 8 different drill books. We're going to start out with the alphabet book, which is book number 8. I can probably get a better price than you can. They're $20 a piece, but it is a required textbook for the for Maymester and for summer. So if you want to order those, I will take your names and get those ordered for you. Hopefully she'll get them right out to me. So I'm going to go ahead and pay for them and see what she says about what she wants to charge for them. Okay, yes ma'am.
I have a question. Do you really think that people up in the higher speeds need that alphabet book?
Pardon me?
The book that you're saying, book number 8.
Yes?
Do you think that's really necessary for people in the higher speeds?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Or I would say, if you didn't want to do that book, there are those other books, and you could pick one, and I can order that if you'd like to. If you'd like to look at them and decide what you'd like. The other one I want is number 2. So 8 first, and then number 2. Okay, so we might start with 2 for those in the higher speed. Finger drill books are good no matter where you are. Okay, it's just been proven that you need to work on finger drills. It just reinforces what you're doing. Okay, any other questions about it? Okay, I think I'm done. We're going to have a good 3 weeks and a good summer semester, and you theory people are going to be guided along, so you're not going to be left alone, and we're going to have things for you to do, and it's going to be all very good. I think we're going to have a very good, productive. I don't anticipate it to be any less than what you guys have done so far, and I think you're doing very well. I'm very excited about the piece of paper that I have that shows the passes, just full, and I really like that. So keep up the good work, and we're here for you. Okay, Ms. Mallon?
Okay. All right, let me just continue with the finger drill. If you'll look in your sock pack, if you have that, there is a section in there that says why you should do the finger drills. If you don't have the sock pack, it's outside of Ms. Woodard's office. If you want to go get one.
I'll go get them. I'll go get
Okay.
them.
It just tells you why the finger drills are important, and then the instructions are there, and when you get that book, or whichever book you're going to get for the finger drills, those instructions are the same, how she wants you to do those finger drills.
And you do need to follow exactly the way she outlines you do them. Don't think you're going to just, I'm going to whip through this in 3 seconds flat, because they are easy to start out with, but there's a method to the way she has it outlined. Let me go get this out.
And Margie does suggest that you do it for 5 to 10 minutes at the beginning of your practice, and then 5 to 10 minutes at the end of your practice. So you start your practice with that, and then you end your practice with that. It also could be something good to do before you take your PC or your mock, especially those new 5-minute ones that we're going to do that will be beyond the Wednesday testing. On Fridays, we do have 2 Fridays for Maymester. The 3rd Friday, the campus starts its Friday closure. I'm not sure why they couldn't wait until Maymester was over, but it starts the 3rd week of Maymester. This Friday, we do have a guest speaker coming, and I've asked another guest speaker to come for the 2nd Friday. Those will be recorded. And then I'm going to ask that you submit some questions. If you're online, if you will email me those questions so that we can have those guest speakers answer those questions. The first speaker is one of our graduates, Christine Seitz. I'm not sure whether any of you know her, but she graduated several years ago, and she has agreed to come. And then the second one is going to be Whitney Riley, who is our captioning instructor, and she wants to talk to you about VID000. So she's going to be our second guest speaker. There are a couple that need that.
So your Fridays aren't going to be bad. They're going to be good.
But in the SAC pack, you do have the instructions for how to do those finger drills and why Margie, who is the author of that book, thinks that they are important, and Mrs. Woodard and I believe that same thing. So I've given you in the first week's SAC pack the first week's finger drills, right? So you can get the book. I hope they'll be here by the 2nd week. those of you that are online, the SAC pack is already in Canvas, so you can print that out. You just won't get the pretty green cover
Or the yellow cover on it.
or the yellow cover.
And I will be doing a stack pack. I sort of debated, because you're not going to have a lot of, I mean, you will have some, but you're not going to have the live dictation of the lit and jury charge and Q&A from the stack pack this time. But I decided to go ahead and do it because I just think
I
it's...
made her.
Yeah, she did. She convinced me I should do it. So I did it. Notice the little carousel on the front? I always try to do either an animal or some kind of motivational thing. And of course, we know that I used to, I don't know what you call them. I know they're properly called carousels. I used to call them hobby horses. And that was my favorite thing to ride down at Playland Park and other places as I was growing up here. The ups and downs, but that's motor reporting too, isn't it? The ups and downs. But you notice the horse in the middle is in the up position, and hopefully that's you in the up position. Okay. The rest of you that are going to be here on campus, you will have some live dictation. High Speed's going to have some. The other classes are going to have some, particularly for Q&A. Ms. Mal and I will be kind of going around doing live Q&A.
And that'll be posted on the wiki as well.
That will be posted. Everything's going to be posted. Yeah. When we do it, everything's going to be posted. So, you know, you'll have access to everything that we do, whether you come every day or don't come every day. I think you just have to determine for yourself what's best for you. Some people like the accountability of being in a class and the camaraderie that comes. Other people can do fine online. So, okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Took your thunder.
No, that's all right. I'm just checking my notes to make sure that I cover everything. I'd like to address the speed students first. I know a couple need to get to work. And then the theory students, if you will stay in this room after we finish with the speed, I'd like to go over Canvas in detail. I'm not sure all of you have used Canvas. Speed students that haven't used Canvas might want to stay also. And then the rest of you could either head off to work or go into one of the other rooms to do some dictation if you want to get started on the lessons. Right? Did you have anything else, Ms.
I do want to look at the schedule for the speed. Have you all looked at your schedule if you're a speed student? Did you not get one? Anybody that's a speed student didn't get a schedule. We do have you here, if you come on campus, we do have you here from 8:30 to 1:20. We have to, because it's just 3 weeks, and we have to get those hours in order to give you credit for the class. You understand? That's our limitation there. I don't particularly like it either, but that's what we have to do. So as you're looking at that schedule, you'll see on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we have everything there for you. We will have some guest speakers, so that's going to be good. We already have them lined up, and you're going to enjoy those. We'll be doing some open lab work where you're just going to kind of be on your own. The little individual tests that you do every day will be from a specific point on the wiki. Okay, we will tell you where to go to get those tests, and that will be your assignment to do that. Take that test and then transcribe it. I think for the high speed, I will be with you pretty much a lot of the time. For the other speeds, Ms. Mallon and I will be together, and Ms. Mallon will be with you. And she's going to alternate between the theory students, making sure they stay on track, and then also the rest of you that come. So again, how many of you in the other speeds, not high speed, the other speeds, plan on coming to campus every day? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
For me, I'm gonna try because I think I can be off from 8:30 to 11, maybe noon.
Okay.
So if I can do that, I can come here. every
Okay.
day.
So that looks like we have maybe 4 at the other speeds, and
I
then.
wanted at least on Wednesdays to come in.
Well, yeah, the Wednesdays, I'm not even counting the Wednesdays, because if you can come in to test on Wednesdays, it's always, I think, better.
But I am online, so so,
Okay.
but I'm just gonna try, cause, you know, like you said, it just might work better.
It's good camaraderie, it's good, a lot of things, I think.
Practice.
I
Will
think.
the Wednesday testing look like what it always does, where we
It'll
do
look
the
like
flash drives and
what it always
Okay.
does. Wednesday testing will look like what it always does. So of course on Wednesdays, you're not gonna be here hopefully till 1:20, you know. You can leave as soon as you finish your test, but I'm gonna make this as a blanket statement and I mean it, okay? I don't usually come real strong in a lot of things, but I do mean this. If it's worth my effort and our effort to give you a test, you must transcribe it. All right? You're going to lose that privilege if you start messing around with it. Because it takes a lot of work on my part, and I'm not saying that to make you feel sorry for me. I'm just saying you have no idea how many hours it takes me every week to prepare the test. I've written 2 new ones for you. I'm fixing to write the 3rd one. You'll have some new tests. It takes a lot of time and get those dictated, and it hurts my heart to know how much I've worked on them and then see you just turn around and walk out. Well, that ain't going to happen, all right? If you turn around and walk out, unless you have a very good reason, you have forfeited your taking the next test, okay? I'm just going to make that blanket because I think that's not fair. And I think more than it not being fair to me, it's not fair to you. You're not giving yourself the opportunity. Yes, some of them are going to be horrible. Some of them are going to be very hard. Some of them are going to be nice and easy. It's okay, you know. That's life. But take those tests and then transcribe them. All right? If not, you're going to forfeit that. It's very simple, okay? And then the everyday test, again, that's a requirement of Maymester, is the everyday test. Okay, you're going to be given the time to do it, to transcribe it, and to turn it in, and it will be graded. It will be looked at. You have a question? Your hand was up.
Yeah, no, I'm moving. And so you said that y'all will tell us every day where to go to access that file.
Yes.
Will that be sent out in an email?
She's going to explain it to you in just a minute as soon as she gets on the wiki. As soon as I stop talking, she will take you to the wiki to show you. And this is going to be good information for you theory people too, because there will be some things, some access that you're going to want on the wiki. You know, just because you're still finishing up your theory doesn't mean that you can't benefit from that wiki. Okay, we're very proud of that product, and everybody that looks at it is impressed with the product. So, okay, you looked over your speed schedule. Any questions about it? When we will actually do the live, Miss Mount and I will have to get together to see. I will be with the high speed most every day. And I think on Tuesdays we decided to do Q&A with the high speed. We'll do Q&A at some point with the rest of you who are here, okay? And she'll do the lit and jury charge with the rest of you who are here, okay? All right, I'm done with that, I think.
Okay. The testing, the Wednesday will be just like we've been doing. And again, this is for the speed students. Theory, I'll take care of you in just a minute. But the Wednesdays will be just like it has been. We'll meet in this room. Mrs. Reed will be giving the test, and they will be on the USBs. The extra tests are called the Maymester Testing Blitz. And you may pick any of the 5-minute tests that we have on the wiki. Ms. Woodard said that we would direct you to the one to take. Since all of you are at different speeds, you can pick whichever one you want. You just have to tell me.
What I meant when directing was there's one website, there's one site that you'll go to for that.
You just have to tell me where it was on the wiki so that I have the audio file to grade it. This semester, under my name, I did the 1 minute, the WON. So you can take any of the 5-minute where we put it all together as a test. You also can take it from the ONE minute, or you can take it from the 5-minute testing site that we have on there. So there are 3 sites that you can go to. The WON
You're going to show them,
minute.
right? Show them on the wiki.
Oh, I'm not in the wiki right now.
Yeah. And
The
what,
WON,
yeah.
and then the ONE, Here's the 1 minute, the WON.
And what she's saying about that is if you remember, if you've done any of those 1 minutes, you know at the end there is a 5 minute with it all together. You can't practice those 1 minutes before you take that 5 minutes, but you can go straight to the 5 minute there. So if you choose it from there, you go straight to the 5 minute and take that.
All right, here's the 5 minute dictation, and those are at 2 different speeds. It's either at 140 and then 160, or 120, 140. You can pick. Let's look at the 140, or let's look at the 120, 140.
Go back, no, go to the 80 because they'll not be taking them, and
Okay.
I don't want them to hear.
There's the 80, 100. And they're divided by lit, jury charge, and then the testimony. And you can see it's there at 80. It's also there at 100. So if you are testing at 100, if you need one more jury charge at 100 or at whatever those other speeds are, that's the one that you'll take. And just tell me where it came from on the wiki. So
If
I
you would
can
put that as
find
part
it.
of your heading on the test that you're turning in, you know, your name and the speed and the date and all that sort of thing. If you will put on your heading which section you use for that, because otherwise we're going to be looking through 3 sections and it's going to take a lot of time for us to find it.
Just tell us where it is so that we can find, especially if it's a pass, so that we can find it in order to grade it for you. And theory students, if you'll look, there's so much dictation on our wiki at all speeds. It starts at 40, there's a little bit at 40, but it really picks up when we get to the 60. So there's all this archived dictation that we have. You can practice anything on the wiki. You just may need to request access to the wiki. And that's just as simple as putting in a request, putting your email in there. I've just asked if your email does not have your name in it, that you tell me who you are when you ask for access to the wiki. All right, so you can go anywhere on there, even back to another semester. If you want to go back to last year's Maymester, you can go back to that. You can either use the home button to take you back to the home page on the wiki, or you can use the back arrow, which would take you back to that home page where we had the dictation that I just was looking at. So there's the 1 minute up here at the top. I have to find the ONE minute. I think it's right here. And there's just a little bit on page 2. Page 1 got full, so we started at page 2. And then over here where it says all 5 minutes, that's what you'll be taking for that Maymester testing blitz. And just tell me which page it came from, the WON, the 5 minute, or the ONE minute. All right, so
Y'all
we
understand
can rate
that? Does everybody understand that? Okay.
Okay. And online students, if you're listening to this archived video, if you will just contact me in Canvas if you're not sure which one you should be doing. And you can do that. We have it for Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday that you can take those tests, those extra tests. Our focus for the Maymester, if you can see that I put on Canvas, is our goal for Maymester is to increase speed.
You got a question?
I have a question.
Yes.
This will be my first time doing this speed online in testing, so I believe in the past, like Wednesday's test, they had up through Saturday or Sunday to do it.
Right. If your
But now,
test,
is there a time frame that those daily ones have to be done by, or?
the daily ones, well, you have an hour after you take that.
The daily ones have to be done on that day.
That day.
That day.
So if you take it on Monday, then transcribe it on Monday, you can submit it in Canvas if you're going to be online, and there's a place in Canvas to submit.
Right, but I mean, is there, like, as long as it's done before midnight? that
Yeah.
day, or
Usually it's
is there
midnight.
Yes.
time
For the weekly PC mock, when we test on Wednesdays, I usually give the online students until Sunday night at midnight to do that. But there you're taking all three.
Right.
So for the Maymester testing blitz, we just ask that you transcribe it that day. So you take the 5 minute and then you transcribe it. If you're here on campus, you can put it in my yellow folder outside of my office, 327,
Put it in
or
my
you
desk.
can submit it online. If you're not coming to campus, I'll know on Wednesday, I think, who shows up for the face-to-face test and who's going to get it online. So are you coming to the online for testing on Wednesday? Are you coming on campus instead of doing it online? So you're going to do it online, okay? And I just send that to you in an email, the 3 tests and the preview words.
Now, that is one thing about those other tests, those 1 minute tests, you may not have preview words. Don't
Yes.
freak out if you don't, okay? The RPR does not give proper names, but by the same token, neither will we count off on the spelling of proper names if we have not given them to you.
But it has to be in the ballpark.
It has to be in the ballpark. I mean, I can't say Mr. White did something and you put Mr. Brown did. Yeah. I mean, you know, it has to be in the ballpark.
Fine, you want a clean, accurate transcript, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're not, and let's say it was, Sunshine Drive and you put something. You know, if it's in the ballpark, we'll honor it.
Because I know one test that didn't have preview words, the name was Michael Carpenter, and if I had put Michael Carp, is that?
Michael Carp, I probably would have counted that. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not going to punish you if we don't give you the proper names.
And you could also put that on your cover sheet for your test. There were no preview words.
Yeah.
Because some of them will not have the preview words. If they're under my name, and I didn't show you that one. If they're under my name, I do have a section for preview words for those 5 minutes. And that is, and I think also, Mrs. Dean did some 1 minutes right here under the class dictation. So you could pick anything there. That was from spring. And I have quite a few 5 minutes under there, okay, at several different speeds. And they're not sorted by speed, they're sorted by day. So you might have to just look for it. But those of you that didn't come face-to-face last semester, you probably haven't used any of those. Did you have another comment, Ms. Woodard?
Oh, yes, but it fleetingly
Okay.
left.
Any questions so far? And this is the wiki that I'm showing you right now. PB Works is a wiki, and sometimes the firewall here at SAC does not like the word wiki, so it's going to tell you that it's an unsecure site. Just tell it you understand the risks. You can use the school computer to listen to the wiki if you're coming face-to-face, and then use your laptop for your Eclipse. You don't have to be using your computer to get onto the wiki.
But it's not going to hurt your computer.
No, it just doesn't like the word wiki, and this is a wiki. Canvas is also a wiki, but and Canvas sometimes will not open because it needs to have the pop-ups allowed. Now this is, or are there any other questions about the wiki before I go to Canvas? Yes.
pbsworks.com is to get on to.
I'll give you that address.
Yeah, for those of you that have not ever had it, we'll
Right.
give you the
I'll give
address.
the theory students, and if you'll stay with the theory students, and then I'll go over that, because some people need to get to work. So I'll go into more detail when we finish this session. All right, but if we don't have any other questions about the wiki, this is Canvas, and we're going to use the course CRTR 1291, and it's section 001. When you go into, let's see, mine automatically goes to this page. When you log into ACES, and there's a couple of different ways that you can get to Canvas. Once you log into ACES, down in the bottom right-hand corner is how to get onto Canvas. Or you can go to My Courses and then find the 1291. You could have 1291 plus the 2 classes that you're taking for summer. And Maymester is just included as summer, so there's not a tab that says Maymester. Do you see where my cursor is there? And I can see all the terms, or I can just go to summer. We're using 1291 for Maymester. And I'm going to go into the student view just so you can see what it's going to look like when you get in there. Over on the left-hand side are your tabs. We are on the home page right there. This is the home page. Here's your assignment page. There will be a vocabulary quiz every week. The vocabulary words are in your SAC pack, and everyone will be doing the vocabulary quiz. There's also a discussion board. There's a place there this week to introduce yourself. I put my introduction on there, and you can either do that or choose not to do that, but we're all together for Maymester, so some of you probably don't know each other. The theory students may not know the speed students and vice versa. So if you'll just do a little introduction there, you can see your grades and you can see everybody that's in the class under the people. And I left that one open. I also put on the first week that if you want to customize your Canvas profile, you can even change your picture if you want to. And all of that is under settings. And I don't think my settings show in the student view. My settings only show when I'm in my view. But your settings tab will be up here to change your email address to your favorite email. It doesn't have to go to your Alamo. And I put all of those instructions on the home page. I'm not going to read that home page to you. If you'll just take time to do that, please. Under the assignment tab, the most important thing on the assignment tab is to always click sort by type. If you can look at those assignments, they're just all jumbled up there. And that's only week 1. I don't have week 2 and week 3 open yet. But if you will always sort it by type, do you see how it really put it into what you're supposed to do for the first day and then what you're supposed to do for the first week? So that's the little button up here that says by date and then by type. So it will sort it under those headings that I put there. That's the most important thing under the assignments. So I've listed some of the things that you're doing today. There's the information sheet. I just asked if you don't have a current contract with Eclipse that you see Mr. Hopkins and get a current contract signed if you're using the Eclipse software. There's a wiki use agreement on there. If you'll print that off and sign it, either submit it back to me in Canvas, or you can bring it and just put it in the yellow folder outside of my office. There's the first day orientation video, so we are recording this, so the video will be up there if you need to go back and look at it. And then I also gave your speed and the theory schedule. One of the things with our schedule is it's always up for revision. And we can always change that. If something's not working as we move through week 1 and we need to change something or we need to give you a little bit more time on something, we can always change that schedule. So it is just a guide, all right, the schedule. And then there's the week 1. Here's the SAC pack, and that's what you just picked up from Mrs. Woodard's office. Those of you that are online, you can print that off. I gave you the testing instructions to look at again. Here's if you're taking the mock. We're also going to be listening to an audio book that is written by a court reporter. Cale McCabe is his name, and his book is on how to pass the test. I've divided the book up for the 3 weeks, and I've given you the first 6 chapters I listened to his book one day in my office, and he has a few quirky things that Miss Woodard and I have said, I wish you wouldn't talk about that, but he has some very good points. He passed the state test the first time that he took it. His brother, who read his book and worked through it, passed the state test the first time he took it. So he does have some ideas that we think are working. And then I've put a discussion on there for each 2 chapters that you can make comments or ask questions or say, what do you think about this, Miss Woodard or Miss Mallon? Should we really try to do this? And I think all of us can benefit from that. He talks about distractors during the test. He just talks about how to listen, even just to listen to high-speed dictation without writing dictation, so that you're training your brain just to hear those words and process those words at a high speed. So even theory students can benefit from that, because you can start listening to those higher speed dictations just to hear it and process it, not to necessarily write it. We also have a checklist for you to go by for the week. There's a place for online students to submit that, and I did one for speed and one for theory. Here's the discussion, and this is the first 2 chapters. And I just said, please post your comments or questions about chapters 1 and 2. And you can click down here on the reply and just make a comment.
If you choose to. Maybe you don't want to make comments, that's fine.
Right, but some of you may want to see what others are thinking. Did you have a question?
Yeah, so week 2 would that be chapter 7 through?
7 through, I don't remember.
I don't remember now.
I don't have it. I think there's 5 chapters in the second week.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're not long chapters, but he does give you a few assignments while you're listening to the chapters. He asks you to write some things down, and I've asked you just to take notes, because you won't have that printed copy of the book. But he does have some good ideas as well as these far out things too, but I think it'll be worth your time to listen to his book. And there's the rest of the discussions. Here's the intro to the class discussion also. And I just said, introduce yourself. I put a PowerPoint up there for mine. And again, I'm still in the student view, so this is exactly what yours is going to look like. And then here's the Maymester test splits 1, 2, and 3. If you are online, that's where you're going to be submitting those for us to grade. Just make sure you tell us where they're coming from on the wiki. Week 1 is the only section that's open in Canvas right now. I'll open week 2 as soon as I get it finished. I don't have it finished just yet. Any questions about Canvas? And you all might have some questions, and I'm going to help you in just a
Can I have your
minute.
number, just in case I have any difficulties with smiling? I don't have your number, I think I lost it.
In my office, 486-0537.
0537?
Yes,
Do you have an extension number?
No,
That's it. That's a direct
it
line.
just rings right in there.
We're not expected to test on Fridays then?
No,
No.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Friday is to do what's in the sack pack, to take your quiz, just to practice. If you choose to take one of those tests on Friday, that's okay too, I think, if that's what your schedule allows. If you're online, you really have to just set your own schedule. If you're online, you might be working. Just make Sunday night at midnight that deadline to submit the work so that I can grade Monday mornings and get those PCs
Yes, so
graded.
you are submitting 3 individual tests every week, okay? 1 in lit, 1 in jury charge, 1 in Q&A, and then you're also doing your testing on Wednesday.
Oh, so it does need to be, because I thought y'all said we can do like whatever it is, like if I'm trying to pass a jury, I could try for 2 juries that week, or do you want us to do?
Is there,
I guess you could. I'm not gonna limit you that way. If you're
Okay.
trying for something, go ahead and try for that. That's good. Just identify it.
So it is.
Yeah, it's still a test that you're transcribing, so I really don't care.
Okay.
I I really don't care about that. But you've got to do those. One, you've got to do 3 individual tests transcribed every week, and then you've got to do your Wednesday testing every week, okay? The vocabulary is going to be very easy. I found a really cute little book, and I think it's what, 10 words? 5 words?
10 words.
10 words. And then it's a matching test. So it's, not hard at all. And then listening to the audiobook. Those are the 4 main things, I think, for every week.
And if you look at the practice, for every jury charge, we did 2 lits and 2 Q&As, focusing more on the lit and the Q&A, and just 1 jury charge as you're practicing. And you'll hear a little bit more about that type of practicing in the audiobook. He said he didn't practice jury charge at all.
The truth of the matter is, and I think I've shared this with you guys before, unfortunately the state of Texas and the RPR believes that you have to be tested in jury charge. The truth of the matter is you will probably very rarely write a jury charge. You might take a little preliminary jury charge from the judge, but they get those from books that are already pre-printed. That's why the jury charges sound so much alike all the time. And that's why you can use all those briefs and phrases and things, and they're nice. Jury charge is really not so much a test of your skill as the literary is, because the literary can be any subject at all, and of course the Q&A because it's the fastest one. So the jury charges, and I think he will say in his book that he never worried about jury charge. Of course, we require that you have to pass one, so you do sort of have to worry about that, but not to the extent that you want to leave the others behind, because they're really the more important ones.
Any questions about Canvas? Yes.
I have a really quick question. On the test, it says here the transcription times is from 11:30 to 12:30. I've scheduled a couple of doctor's appointments.
It's okay.
And that's fine.
Can I do it earlier?
You're
Yes.
dealing with me, and
Yes.
it's okay.
Yes. Yes,
It's okay.
and that is just a guide. It is not that you have to follow that
So
exactly.
if you have to leave, you can leave?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because there is a place for you to submit everything online. This is what we call a hybrid or a blended course. Part of it's online, part of it's face-to-face. It's really hard to say you've got to be here these certain days. Wednesday is the must day. You have to take that PC on Wednesday if you're face-to-face, or if you're online, you have to take it before Sunday night at midnight, so that you
And let me
submit
clarify,
that.
you do have to take it in one sitting. You can't, and I hope you're not doing that if you've been online, take 1 minute, and then go do something else and come back and take another. If you're taking that Wednesday performance challenge, it is given and is to be taken in one sitting. Okay, we're doing that to prepare you for the state test.
And
So that when
here's
you
the
get up to the state
instructions.
test, they don't let you drag your heels and take one time and one another time. You take it all at one time. You need to be prepared for that.
And the instructions are in Canvas on how to take the PC and the mock. So it tells you to take all 3 at the same time, and then to take 1 hour to transcribe each segment of that PC or mock.
And please do that, because if you take more than that, than your allotted time, you're just really cheating yourself. Because you will be allotted that time up at the state test, and you just want to honor that. That's the honorable thing to do, okay?
And you can take those in any order. So you'll have those either coming in an email or on your USB on Wednesdays. You can take them in any order.
Yeah, I think some of you did not know that. I think you thought you had to take them in the order that they're given. You do not. If you're fresher in one area than the other and you want to get that one done first, please do it. Or if you need that test, do that one first, okay? You don't have to do them in the order in which they're given.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question about the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
From 11:30 to 12:30 is when we take our tests. And if I heard Ms. Mallon correctly, we have no tests on Fridays?
No, not
Okay.
on Friday.
So, I don't know,
Do I have it on Friday? I
Yeah.
think I gave you time on Friday. Our guest speaker may just be here for an hour and a half. So if you're here on campus, you might want to stay and go ahead and do another one, or just practice or work on the SACPAC.
Okay, but each test is 5 minutes.
Yes.
The
Yes.
idea is we're really doing a speed test blitz for Maymester. So you can really take as many as you would like. Okay, I'm not limiting you at all to say you only get one test in each category per week. If you're really close on a cusp or you're really pushing for a speed, take it. It's okay. You can even take another one on Friday if you want to. There are a lot of them on the wiki.
Yes.
You can take them. We're not going to limit what you take. You're in charge of your own progression as far as tests are concerned during Maymester. All right? Any questions about that? Do you understand? You may take what you need to take.
And one of the things that you'll hear in the audio book is Kale talks about always taking a 5-minute as if your life depended on it, as if it were a real test. So his philosophy is, yes, it's fine to do the 1-minute drills, but do that after you take that 5-minute. And if you've been in a face-to-face class, you know that we usually read it all the way through for 5 minutes, and then we drill. And then we read it again for 5 minutes at a higher speed at the end of that drill. So those 5 minutes, take those and gear up for those as if that's a real test. Some of you say you have test anxiety. If we took every 5-minute as if it were a test, maybe that test anxiety would subside. It may not ever go away, but it might get a little bit more manageable. So there are 5, when we talk about our goal for the Maymester is to increase our speed, our writing speed, it's those 5 minutes that we're really focusing on. The 5-minute Maymester test splits. And that will give you an opportunity, almost 15 opportunities for Maymester to increase that speed for your testing on Wednesdays. Okay, any other questions?
Are there any other, I think we got the wrong schedule. Are there any other schedules?
There's a theory and then there's a speed. Which one did I give you?
We got there.
Oh, you need the
You
speed.
need speed. You got the wrong one.
This one, are the grades from this past semester posted on NCCN?
They're also on the.
No, your grades have not been posted. They have to be posted by midnight tonight.
The what?
Oh,
Their grades from spring. The grades will be posted tonight, by midnight tonight.
And the test that we took last Wednesday, will it?
They're on there. They'll be on there.
So the blitz, the test splits, we have 3 because of each individual test that we have to submit, right? Or is that why?
Well, you have, yes,
Per week?
yes,
Okay.
but it can be all 3 jury charge if you want to, or
Okay,
whatever you
right.
need to work on it. And if you wanted to do another one, say on a Friday, you could do 4. You can do as many as you want.
There's just not a place to put the 4th one. You'll have
Yeah.
to ask me for
Yeah.
that. Or you'll have to email.
Or just email it in, or
As
send it to
print
me,
it,
or
or
whatever,
yes.
print it out,
You
whatever.
could print it.
Yeah.
Bring it in here.
Right. If you're coming on Wednesday, that's fine.
We
That
just-
would be a good problem to have if we had 4.
I would love it. I would love it. I would love it. And I would love to see, because that's the whole idea of, Maymester has to be attractive, because it's hard, it's long, it has to be attractive. And so we felt like one of the most attractive things for you would be to keep you on those machines, keep you testing, and get those transcripts, keep you transcribing. And that way, you hopefully will see your speeds go up, and you'll reach the goals that you've set for yourself. We want to help you do that.
And after you take that 5-minute, and let's say it's not a pass, you could go back and practice those 1-minute drills for that and use that as just one of your practice exercises so that you're not exhausting all of those 5 minutes on there. So if it's not a pass the first time you take it, then you could go back and drill. And if you ever need any help during Maymester, since it is just the 2 of us, but we are available, we will be here make an appointment, come by the office, call me, call Mrs. Woodard. You can always email me in Canvas also, and I'm going to show you all how to do that in just a minute in Canvas. The rest of you, I think, know how to email me in Canvas.
I think you all have my number. So, call me anytime,
But you can
even
email
at 7
me.
o'clock in the morning, so.
All right, if we don't have any other questions, yes, okay, we do.
For online 100%.
Yes.
The only thing that is due each day is the daily test. Everything else can be due by Sunday.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So if you're taking one of those 5 minutes for the blitz, submit that to us. Just tell me where it is. That'd be good. Everything else for online will be due Monday or Sunday night at midnight.
Should I email you, or is this form good enough saying that I'm online?
You can email me because my list is in my office. Yes, and it'll tell you in Canvas when you log in exactly what you're supposed to do for the first day, and then for the first week. Right, so I can just check you off in my office that you're going to submit things to me online. That will help me for Wednesday when I'm trying to get the test in.
Let me talk to you just a minute about rooms too, because I know that's gonna be an issue. You guys will be in the theory room, so you'll be in 315. Carmen, you guys will be in 311 in the spa room. Now, the rest of you will have probably space back here for the 60, 80, and then for the two of you, if you come, will you be coming on campus?
I'll be doing online.
You're gonna do online. Are you gonna do totally, pretty much online, or are you coming on campus?
I'm gonna do online, but I'm gonna try to come in on campus.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
gonna see if I can do the same thing. Well, I'd rather be online, but I mean, if I'm be in the area, I might just stop in for live.
Okay, fine. Well, we'll probably put you like in room 300. Stefan, that's where you were, right? So if you, are you coming in also? Okay, so let's just say, not 300, 301.
303?
No, 301. 301 is the captioning room, so probably put you guys as you come in there. You and you will be, Carrie, you in 301 too, right? Are you coming in or online? You're gonna do online, okay. So you guys will probably be back here where you were, okay? And y'all are gonna be both online, right? Okay, all right, so I think that covers.
And if you are totally online, just keep us posted. Email us, tell us what you're doing, tell us how you're doing, or that schedule needs a little tweaking. It wasn't detailed enough, or it was too detailed. Tell us what's going on. We tried to think through it as best we could, but you get to set that schedule for yourself when you're online. You know what's due for the week, but you have to work your other schedules around that online. That's the luxury of being online, is that you can work it around your other things that you're required to do.
Is Rachel coming in?
She is, but she is coming in from out of town for this last week.
Oh, that's right, okay, so we'll have Rachel too.
So is it coming on Wednesdays at 8:30 or is it 9:30?
She's opening the room, I think it's 7:30, and then
What do y'all want to
the
do?
door locks at 8:30.
What do y'all prefer? Y'all are gonna be with me, so don't worry about that. You're
But
gonna
I
be
do
with me.
like the 8:30 only because, I try to pick up my kids from school.
Okay, so y'all would prefer at 8:30? Let's just make it 8:30. Is that okay?
Isn't that the time that you have this?
No, they've been doing, some have been doing it at 9:30, so, yeah, let's just make it 8:30. Let's just make it standard across. We'll do the Wednesdays at 8:30.
I would make it, it's in the testing is in this room. So.
No, I'm gonna take you to 3:15. You're gonna be, because your tests are different.
It's, yeah.
Your tests are
But
different.
everybody else will be in here.
Everybody else will be in here with Miss Reed.
Off question, on the blitz,
Mhm.
we do, well, I guess because you mentioned it earlier, but like when we do those blitzes, if we don't pass it, we still turn them in.
Yeah, oh yes, absolutely. Like I said, I get very offended.
Transcribe it.
Huh?
Just send it in.
Yeah, even if it's the, excuse the French, the crappiest thing you've ever done. Send it in, because that way we know you've done it. Then you can take it and work it. Because honestly, it's to your advantage. You will hear some of those tests again. I can't come up with original tests every week.
I hate
So-
when I pass a test at a different speed
And
I'm
then
at a
you
different
have to
speed and I
detect
hear
it.
the same
So
test.
see,
I
that's,
feel it.
that's my whole point. It won't make any difference if you've heard it again, other than if you had a bias and prejudice against it and you hated it the first time you heard it, it might kind of cloud you when you hear it again. But you will hear those again. But hopefully they'll be at a different speed and it's going to be totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different. So it really doesn't matter to us how much you hear them or whatever. You know, I try to interject enough new tests every semester that you have not heard everything. But it's impossible. I mean, I can't do it. Can't write 3 tests a week. Can't do it. Because that takes a lot of time. So, yeah, just use them and zap them in, but make sure, I'm serious. That's going to be my hard, fast rule this semester. If you take a test, you turn it in. I don't care how bad it is, okay? I don't care. You turn it in. Because it's like I'm giving you a gift. We're trying to help you out to blitz in this testing thing. And it's like you're just taking that paper and tearing it up in front of my face. And that feels not good. I don't like that feeling. And it may be a bad test. There are some that are not good. But please, because it helps you to work through it. It really is for your good to work through them like that. Okay?
You'll hear in the audio book, Kale talking about people waiting for a good test.
Yeah, there's no such thing.
So he does talk about that. It is an interesting book. I'm anxious to hear what you think about the book and your discussion.
Have any of you looked at it before? We talked about it in the high speed, and the book was given to some people, but I didn't know. None of y'all have listened to it. You will enjoy it. Again, there's some things that you could just kind of throw away, and you'll think you think he was drunk when he wrote it. It doesn't make sense. But there are some very good hints there too. Very good
I'm
things.
really looking forward to those parts now.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And he has a very pleasant voice too to listen to.
Yeah, it's nice
because
to-
he reads the book.
Yeah, he reads it, so it's his book. Okay. All right, any questions? Are we good?
Yeah.
Do we all understand? Kind of, sort of. You know, we'll work it out. It'll be good. Okay.
All right, and then if I could have the theory students to stay so that I can go over the wiki and go over Canvas. If any of the rest of you want to stay, that's fine too. Or you could, Ms. Woodard, do you want to open up one of those rooms over there so that
They're
we
in
go
301. The CRI people are in 301. I can open up.
303?
I can open up that, or I can open up 315. Are y'all going to stay? Are you staying?
I'm gonna say yes.
Are you going to stay? Okay, so it's just you.
And I'll take your data sheets.
You can. Yeah, you can. Okay.
If you'll just leave the completed data sheets up here on the table, and make sure that you signed in.
Okay, so I'm going to open up 3. How many of you are going to stay? How many are going to stay? No, not how many of you are going to stay? You're going to stay. And what's the
You take a blitz today, right?
Yes, you can take a blitz today. So let's go for the majority of people that want to take the blitz. You know, for the anything under the Mach speed, I'll open up 303, and Carmen, you'll go to 315.
Did you get a data sheet? And did you get a slip? Okay. And there's
Well, not only that, you're second over your theory.
No, it's practically blind.
You know, I was following you right now when you're talking.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
My backpack.
Okay. Yes.
Does the printer work, anyone?
And I'll be. Because I'm going to have that. to put your test on tomorrow. So if you could bring me one, are you coming to see it tomorrow?
No.
Well, you can use one of mine until Wednesday. Bring me one on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
And you take one of those blitzes. Oh, maybe I should turn this off. Wait a minute, let me turn off. We will continue the video going over Canvas in the second video.